No, it's probably you don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, maybe.
hallucination.
Maybe that's, yeah, that was.
So,
You want to share your multiple breakthroughs?
that's
What were your big breakthroughs, brother? Because I think, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Mhm. Do you want to share them?
yes, that is to trust the universe even more. Of the divine guidance. I walked up in trust, and everything happened without me steering. In my head, I think about things and I steer it in the head. And my lesson is just be. That is the lesson of the day. And from that being, everything happened what just need to be happening. I got my spa treatment. I got the music at the right time, at the right place. Without me, I did nothing and everything happened. So the being is so important. And the trust, and you let me there. Because you redefined the word trust for me.
And what does that mean to you, brother?
That means everything to me.
No, but what exactly? What would you define that as? So that, yeah, because like that's everything and definition of everything.
That's the definition. That's the definition of being.
Okay, yes. Can you be more specific?
Awesome. I want to ask that same question.
Then I need to go in my head.
Yeah. Sorry?
Then I need to go in my head.
So be specific because we want to be grounded. And I think this is the biggest difference of what actual intelligence is: business intelligence, financial intelligence, creative intelligence. We want to be intelligent, right? We want to see things as they are, not worse than they are, and make it better, right? So it's really important that you take the time to really get curious about what does that mean when we are actually intelligent about anchoring our responsibility here in the physical reality.
So it starts with waking up and just be, not go in your head and plan what you need to do today. Just accept the situation you're in. And
I am in.
Thank you.
Sorry?
Not you are in.
No, I am in. I am in, and go with the flow. And trust that everything that happens for you.
For me.
To me.
So one of the things, maybe you can give an example so that there's actual, so Brenda can maybe have some insight into the example, because then we can also, I think it would be amazing to discover ways, because I believe, and Brenda, if you don't mind, if I just share, I feel like you're this overlooking pillar, eagle eye, that's able to be extremely intelligent about making sure. I really love the note you left here. It gave me an anchor yesterday. The more risk or the less risk you perceive, the more there is. I really love that. That gave me a really great insight last night before I went to bed, and I had a conversation with him about really trusting in what does real trust mean. And if we're really here to anchor a responsible reality and make choices and stand on and create success, then we must actually really anchor that in with financial intelligence. And so there is nothing wrong with taking the wisdom and trusting and making sure that we're communicating that with each person that's involved is something that's going to allow that anchoring, that certainty for the people that we're serving. And these are one of the things that, Brenda, you're amazing at. So I think I'd love to get curious about what you perceive, Brenda, what you're seeing here, so that we can really anchor this man into his responsible role of really integrating alongside financial intelligence of what it means to really own that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
I think so. Are you asking me to, like, how I feel about trust, or what I am seeing in Ron?
Maybe first what you feel about it, and then what you're seeing.
Okay, so what I would say about trust, it's almost something in your body that you feel. It's not, how I would see it, as almost like intuition. You have this knowing that you can just trust in the process, that you can trust in what's happening. If you say trust, if you say you're trusting, and then think about where that trust is coming from. Is it coming? It's not coming from the head. It could be coming from the heart. It could be coming from the body. It could be like a gut feel, an intuition, just a knowing that in this moment, you are feeling trust. It's like that knowing. It's not even that easy to put into words, because it's something you either have or you don't have. You trust or you don't trust. And when you're trusting, you're trusting in, it's like the universe. Okay, you're trusting in that whatever is happening. I think Ronald said that, you're trusting in whatever happens. You don't have that expectation. You're just putting trust in the process. And I think it's like so smart for Eric to bring up intelligence, because when somebody asks, and this is also being impeccable with your words, how you are, what you're projecting out, what you're saying, what your words. So if you say, trust is everything, that's not saying anything. That's not being intelligent about that question, because it's coming from wisdom. It's coming from, it's not just somebody saying, hey, Ron, what do you feel about trust? And you say, well, I think it's everything. Because everything doesn't, it's not giving me any sort of concrete, like it could be, it could be distrust. If you think it's everything, it could be distrust too, because that's part of everything. So I think just hearing the question, going into the heart, not the head, and really feeling, because it could be in your heart, could be in your body. It actually could be just that intuition, that feeling in your stomach, that, that you just have this knowing that is so, that's so real and so concrete that nothing can break it. I mean, that's
Thank you.
just how I'm feeling it, because I'm talking through my heart right now. I'm not going into my brain trying to think, ooh, what does trust mean? I'm thinking about, what does it feel in my body if I trust? What does it feel in my heart if I'm really trusting? Because you said it, you said that was something you got out of the weekend. Anyway. That's
And
my,
maybe now you can share what you're seeing. Amy, just give me 1 second.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I see Ron is in his head. He's not in his heart. He went to his head when he answered that question. He didn't stop to think for 1 minute or stop to hear those words. What does it mean to trust? He just went right to his head and said it's everything. Because really, is your heart saying that? I mean, and maybe it is. I'm not like, that's just my hallucination. It's my hallucination, because I think if you went to your heart, you might answer it differently now. And your body, you know, don't forget your body, the rest of your body. Well, how does your body feel about it? What is your intuition saying? Is there, maybe it's not saying anything, maybe it's just strictly from your heart. So I would just ask you maybe to answer that question now in your own way.
It is straight from the heart, because it's everything and it's nothing. That's not an hallucination. My experience is that trust is a language from the heart. And I used in the past the word trust from the head. And Eric gave me the mirror. I was resisting it yesterday evening. I was even getting out of state because of that. Literally. And this beautiful guy, he's who he is. He mirrored me. And the learning of the lesson for me is that trust is a word, is a word. It's a sacred word. It's a word from the heart. That's what I learned there. And I replaced the word in my head with expectation. And expectation is judgment. Expectation is unexplored curiosity.
Why are you talking about, I'm just going to ask, why would you talk about that when we're talking about trust? Because that's just taking me away from the trust part.
Exactly. That's exactly what it means. Because it's a word from the head. And when you say the word trust, it comes straight from the heart. And I use the word trust in head language and heart language. That's my lesson. And now the word trust is for me heart language. Every time I use it. The word trust is eliminated from the head. I replaced it in the head with expectations. At the moment.
So can I encourage you to just create coherence with the heart and pay attention to what that really means? Like, so when somebody that you love and trust you is you're saying, I own this, I got this, right?
Yes.
And then that execution doesn't take full responsibility and say, hey, how can I do better to support you? What can I do better to support you? There's an opportunity where you can now share what your needs are, right? And then if you're allowing yourself to truly feel what trust means, it says, I'm going to own this, and what can I do, right? So what can I do to support you? To be in that congruent state of coherent trust all the time. Because when you say in the mind expectations, what you're doing is you're putting people and yourself into the mind, and you're creating expectations. So my suggestion is, how can you come always and create from a coherent place? Because the heart's integrity and the heart's intention creates a coherent expression, so that it allows you to cultivate a meaningful way of choosing how to operate. From here, as an owner, not an operator, as an owner. So what can I do to create and help you create that coherence? So everything that you are integrating with your wisdom and grace that we all see, by the way, and the passion that you have, because what trust is, you say that you want to create financial literacy for all the children in the world, including me, you, and all the kids. And so how can you actually own that by creating that in this scenario with what we're doing on a collective scale, so we can move and create these events bigger, more grander, more in integrity, so that it cultivates a meaningful, because business intelligence is also what's needed alongside financial intelligence, and we need each other to grow. And so my hallucination is that you need even more accountability.
How do you mean that?
So having somebody like Brenda to hold you accountable that has spent 40 years with financial intelligence, having somebody like myself to create and help you navigate these uncertainties of unexplored curiosity, where you are able to navigate with tremendous certainty around you in a community. And so how can we serve you is what my question is.
Well, my answer is easy. Just be you. You're doing it. I need nothing more than you. Every time you mirror me, I learn a lesson. And we broke the mirror, remember? That was a moment in time that we didn't need the mirror. That was purity, crystal purity.
It's always purity. You can choose to see impurity, and when you see impurity, it's the remember what they say. If we're looking for a splinter in the eye,
Yeah.
we find a log in our own heart.
Of course, and the log was gone. That's what I mean. That was not there anymore. And that was a moment in time I experienced that. And then we get into our normal lives, and the splinter and it comes back. What you do is you let me see that. You give me that back instantly. When I'm around you, that's why I like being around you. And sometimes I dislike that because I don't like the lesson I'm learning. But that is the head, heart. The language immediately changes. So, and then you get out of state.
I get out of state.
I was in the head, and then the language. What I'm learning now is that be even more cautious of what you say.
What I say.
What I say. So now, and I'm learning this. This is a learning experience for me. I know when I'm in the heart. I feel that. Only that is feeling. That's not language. It's the body. And I'm learning to be congruent. That's hard. What you just mentioned. If your heart is congruent, your language is automatically congruent. Your focus is automatically congruent. And your body is, that's the Trinity.
The state.
And that creates the state. Trinity creates the state. And then you're in the being. I am then in the being. And then the amount of trust you experience. I experience is, let me give you a simple explanation. I went upstairs in the king's room to experience a king's shower. I imagined a spa, and I got a spa treatment. I did hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And I got a mini spa treatment, and I put music on, and I trusted to that it will be the right music. And it came. My favorite music was the second song. I didn't plan that. It was on the right time at the right moment. That is trust. When you're in that state where everything is congruent and life happens to you, and sometimes you get them back in the head and you lose head. Let me say head language. I use. It's so beautiful that it changes immediately, and that's what I'm learning now. And that's why I love you, because you are ahead. You're my teacher on this subject. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So I feel the need.
Okay.
The need to help the other boys and clean up my shit, because I don't want to be the guy who is not ready at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Ron.
And first, I want to ask the ladies if they have a question for me. What do you need at the moment?
I want to honor the space and just say say the you I've come to know. And I feel like the you word that you use is because you care so much and so passionately about everybody else that you concentrate on them instead of who you are yourself, and that's why you comes up so much because you have such a big heart. And your to me, your purpose is so huge because kids are lost in an environment where there's nobody paying attention because people are so busy in their worlds, right? Parents and whatever. So they're lost in this virtual world, and what you offer can give them so much. So to me, it's really important that you stay in your heart and your purpose because there's a lot of little ones counting on you. So I'm really grateful. And my experience with trust is that it's as big as unconditional love. That it's in the same realm. And instead of expectation, I would love to hear you say appreciation. Let that be the word you replace trust with in your head, because then they work together.
Yeah, exactly.
The
I will
words are
talk to you
so
about that.
important. Mm.
May I also suggest that you maybe share openly what are some of the things or the action steps that you can do in terms of the lighthouse, the community, what we're building? What are some of the actions that we can all hold you accountable to in terms of integrating this layer of true trust? And maybe you don't need to share that now, but think about it. Not but and think about it.
We talk about it today.
Yeah. And then, I also would just like to encourage you ladies, specifically Brenda, to reach out when you have a moment to also get curious to see what his thoughts were when he discovers that, because I think that by you reaching out, he will own it even more. If that's possible, if I can ask for that support.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
Because I just want to really, and for me, Brenda's been a huge pillar, and I just really want to, for the community, like it's not even just for me, it's for the community. We hear this from multiple different peoples from around the world now, Brenda, and you heard that yesterday with different ladies, and people have shared that openly about the magic that you're bringing and the pillar that you are. So it was so nice to hear Evelyn talk about those 5 soul initiations. And it's interesting because there's 5 souls in the house that are here to support. So it's interesting how all of that's coming together, and and then for her to share how big of a pillar she sees you being. So I really acknowledge that, and just we all collectively, as a community, really thank you for who you are and being here for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're so amazing.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. I'm on the move.
Okay, thank you, big love. And ladies, so I really want to also help these beautiful gentlemen, because we do have to leave here in 25 minutes. And I just want to really make sure that we are not running late or anything behind. I gotta take all the setup down. And we'll be back and ready to rock. Tomorrow I'll probably be on the road, but we'll figure out probably Thursday, because I'm gonna be in the mountains. So it'd be nice to be able to do it in the mountains with some fresh winter air.
You mean
So-
Friday? Tomorrow's
Today's Friday, right? Yeah, thank
Friday.
you. Friday.
Friday.
So,
Today's
yes,
Wednesday.
Friday. So
Mhm.
Friday I'll be in the mountains.
And
Yeah.
maybe, Carolyn,
So-
you can introduce yourself then. She can.
Yes, no, I would love to before we go. Before we go, Darylyn, I'm sorry. I would love to see you. I just sometimes I don't pay attention because I don't notice when there's no screen on. This is my apologies. I apologize.
And please leave the room open so we can see it upstairs.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
there
you
go.
guys can. That's a great. Darylyn, can you tell us about yourself?
Oh, certainly. I do shamanic work. I've done ayahuasca a number of times, been to a retreat in Peru. I a few years ago I had uh, chemotherapy for cancer, and am doing well. Um, it's interesting because thanks. It's interesting because it's kind of like almost being in a vehicle accident and then being a little afraid to drive. So every time I get uh, some health thing going on, I'm like, ah, is it back? Yeah. So I also have always like the majority of my adult life, after certain traumas, I had depression, like clinical depression, and I don't take any medication anymore. I'm really into Joe Dispenza's work. So, uh, if I do meditate every day after my um, cancer experience, I'm like, okay, what am I not doing in life? And it was like, okay, I'm not meditating every day. It's kind of like, one of those, um, oh, I should be meditating. Oh, I should be meditating. And I'm just not doing it all the time. Periods when I did do it, I was really joyful, but just not making it a habit. So since then, since the cancer experience, um, I have been meditating every day, but I need to up it. Just need to, yeah, and that's why I did ayahuasca. Um, uh, it's to reprogram my mind. I listen to Abraham Hicks every morning, well, with my husband Miles, and we are so into Abraham's message. It's so non-judgmental. It's so self-accepting, self-worth, all these things that I need to encourage. And so, it's been interesting having all the, in years past, psychotherapy, and then learning all these healing modalities. I have a lot of things that I can bring, um, like, I guess tools, bring out of my toolbox to help myself. I drew pictures for Miles, and I drew pictures one, and I just had this thing come to me. It's like on those erasable whiteboards, how if you use the wrong pen, um, it won't erase. So I thought, okay, what if it's like life is like getting the permanent one and drawing a picture of my body, or it could be the house or your life or whatever. But anyway, just say my physicality, and drawing that. And that's my perfect self. Now take the erasable ones in different colors and muck it all up and go, okay, that is the crap that I'm bringing to my life. And at any point, I can erase that crap and allow myself to be the perfect, healthy, strong individual that I am.
Yes.
Go, Darylyn.
You are. I just really want to acknowledge the peace, the state of peace that you're in. I can hear it in your voice. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Really, really.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been crying a lot lately, so I'm putting more into it. Yeah.
It's really amazing to observe this because we get such gifts from this experience that allows us to discover our true nature.
Yeah.
And then integrating that with a challenge that you went through and being in that place of trust. That is the embodiment of trust, of choosing to know that there is something so wise within you that is willing to always be there and take care of you. And to me, that is the ultimate faith to continue to walk our path. And so I just want to really acknowledge the fact, not only that you're stepping fully into it and owning that part of yourself, and that you have your beloved husband who's amazing. Yeah, amazing. He's really a special soul because he's there for you. And that to me is ultimate masculinity. That to me is the healthy mirror of a sacred union that allows us to be vulnerable, allows us to be honorable, allows us to be present. And for you to be comfortable enough to share here with us, it tells me that you've really stepped into a strength of inner being, as Abraham Hicks talks about, and allow you to really launch those rockets of desire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's lots of rockets of desire being launched. Oh, yeah. This morning, the one I was listening to was just such a lovely clip, in which she said the words really stuck in. I am a strong woman. Yes, I am a strong woman. So I wrote that down on my, because I was talking about the whiteboard. Well, I drew pictures for Miles and I, like a woman body and then a man body. And then Miles and I were writing around that in pencil, all these positive affirmations. So this morning I wrote on the top, I am a strong woman, like, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. I love that. Wow.
Yeah, I think the tears that have been coming the last, I don't know, couple weeks are because the stress of Miles' knee replacement, and I'm assisting him, and that's scary. When somebody has an operation.
So do you mind if I don't mind sharing, maybe it's just the opportunity. Gentlemen, do you mind if there's an opportunity to see that knee replacement as a way to cultivate longevity and be excited and nurturing that opportunity of seeing what's possible? Because, fear or faith, we get to decide, and there could be ultimate faith if you choose to tell that story for yourself, and as a result be inspired and graceful about it. And instead of being tears of uncertainty, they could be tears of grace, because something is coming to serve Miles and allow him to see that he can create, more strength in his knee, and then move with more playfulness and joy, and then cultivate even more of a natural space for you to really enhance. So that's
Yeah. Oh, Miles says I'm, one of the most positive, positive people. I think sometimes some things. Also, my mother has gone to a nursing home, and it's not looking very good. So that is more tears. Um,
So again, this is the decision, right? So what you can also see, if you choose, is my mom is being taken care of by people that are really amazing at taking care of her and getting her comfortable and being in a place where she can be in a state of peace and grace, where she's nurtured and supported and loved and cared for. And we know that, especially after doing ceremony and ayahuasca, that she's always with you no matter what, just because the physical experience, right? Because the physical experience may end, it doesn't mean that she goes anywhere. It actually means that she comes back even stronger with you. And so remember to celebrate life more than you fear death, because from that place, you'll fully live in the present moment instead of in your head when you're thinking about what can and could go wrong versus what is present, and recognize the grace of what's in front of you. Because right now, they are here. She's here. And by being here now, we can create and change an opportunity to navigate real tremendous wisdom. Did you want to share something, Ross?
you have to go.
We can continue this on. I'm just like, there's only like 13 minutes.
Yeah, everyone's going. So I'm gonna thank you, Ross.
I didn't want to interrupt, so I apologize. It's just
No problem.
And Daryl, make sure you come back on, because that was beautiful what you shared. And we can help serve you somehow, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and we'll be
My
back.
hallucinations, we already served.
Yeah, we've already served. And we can serve more. Okay, bye guys.